All right.
May I pose the question
Yeah,
to you again?
sure.
Okay. So why are you an artist?
I haven't given that a lot of thought.
Okay.
Yeah, actually.
Do you think
Maybe I should.
Yeah, you know,
Yeah.
maybe through this process
Yeah.
something will emerge.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of, yeah. Well, I don't know. You know, I feel like I think I'm good at it. I feel like this might be the best thing I can do.
Mm-hmm.
So, sort of like if I went to do something else, maybe it'd be a mistake. So.
So what is art for you then? You know?
Yeah, it's well, I think I have ideas that I want people to be to interact with,
Mm-hmm.
and I need an audience for those ideas.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I mean it's really simple, you know. It's not really that deep. Like I don't think I'm really that deep. I think I just like art a lot, and I need an audience.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's why I'm sitting here right now, because this grant's for people who are socially, you know, engaged. But for me, I'm only socially engaged because I need an audience.
Right.
It's
Right.
not really that deep.
And
I don't know.
well, you know, like talk a little bit more about your relationship to your audience. How do you want people to? How do you
Yeah.
envision your audience?
I think, yeah. Yeah, I think my relationship to them.
Yeah. Like, do,
Yeah.
do you want people to react to you in a certain kind of way, or are there particular elements that you want to tease up in your interaction with your audience? Certain emotions, feelings.
I mean, each thing has its own thing, but I mean, you know, the audience. I was watching the other videos, and it seemed like a lot of people. They make it sound like working with people outside galleries is like a choice for them or something. You know, like I feel like I didn't really have much of a choice with that. Like I just needed to. I don't know. Like I wanted to be in galleries and stuff and have all that, and I just got discouraged from people telling me that you have to, that like it starts with art school, then you go to MFA, and then from MFA people see your work through the MFA programs, you know, and then that's how you get your name in the right circles and stuff. And I was like, well, I never really did that, and I don't really want to do that. I don't really want to go back to school. So I don't know. It's.
So you think it was more of a condition, you ending up in
Yeah.
the social realm?
Yeah. I mean, I think it's a mixture of both. You know, I think like yeah.
What if, you know, I feel like there must be some level of enjoyment. Like, you know, I
Yeah,
feel
there
like
is.
sometimes when people feel
Yeah.
like they're conditioned in a particular way, there's some hesitance or reluctance to go in that direction. But you embraced it.
Yeah. You know, it's yeah. I mean, the problem with doing challenging work in the streets and like, you know, or in those places is you want to challenge people, but then you don't have the validation that a gallery gives you for people to approach it in a way that you might like. So it's always a problem. Like it's always a problem of, you know what I mean? It's all on you. It's all on you to just, you know, you have to perform it, then you have to defend it, because no one else is. Well, you may have like a couple people who like it, you know what I mean? But like maybe you have like a blogger who likes it, but like there's gonna be a ton of other people who just think it's bullshit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's why I sort of have an ambivalence towards the audience. I love the audience, but like it's just it's complex, you know.
Oh, I mean.
So, but
it's complex, I think, in countless ways, and you know.
I'm just gonna start griping on this. And I know I'm supposed to talk about you want to talk about like ideas and stuff. It's hard for me not to talk about my own feelings in interviews. So, but I'm really trying.
I want you to talk about feelings too.
Yeah, I want to talk about the ideas because I know all your other videos. How people are talking about ideas.
I want to get to your ideas through your feelings.
Oh, okay, all right.
Did you have something that were you?
No,
I
wasn't.
Thinking about something just then?
No, I wasn't.
Okay.
No.
Yeah, it seems like most people that you would encounter wouldn't even know that you were making art per se.
Yeah, that's
right?
true. That's true, right?
Yeah. So you don't even necessarily need that validation of a gallery.
It's
in
true.
that regard.
Yeah.
But do you see your work as, you know, sort of because you're working in so-called public space to be in line with all kinds of performances that kind of generate from the street?
What do you mean?
Happen on the street?
Oh, you mean like street musicians and stuff?
All types of performances that happen on the street. I mean, you know,
like what else? Like what other kind of
musicians or
dancers? Yeah.
And then you have, you know, people that draw or that are drawing on the street. And
Yeah.
all kinds of creative generation happens in the public realm. Is it more akin to that type of creative energy, or is it more about the art context?
Yeah, that's a good question. I don't, you know, yeah, it's there's a lot of levels of opinion when you're performing on the street, you know, because everybody sees it, and the people who aren't able to see it might hear about it, and if they don't hear about it, then you can just email people about what you did.
Mm-hmm.
So everybody is going to have a different opinion. But that's kind of obvious. But I think what I mean is that, yeah, and this came up in some of your other interviews, like the perception of your work is different. You know, it's just different when it's outside of the gilded cage of a gallery. Mm-hmm. Everything changes.
Mm-hmm. How do those things change?
Isn't that funny? I don't know. How does it change? Well, you know how it changes. It changes because you know how it changes.
I mean, I think
I think we both know how it changes.
But I think it's different.
So.
I feel like that's relative, those kind of differences to everyone. I mean, quite obviously, you know, being in an enclosed space versus being in a space that's open, you know, you're kind of outside of architecture.
Yeah.
I mean, that's one major difference.
Well, yeah.
And then there's this other aspect of kind of engaging with the market.
It's
that's
the market.
Totally different.
Yeah, it's the market is what I mean.
Oh, that's what you mean.
Yeah.
Is it marketable, your practice?
Yeah, that's not. No, it's not. It's not marketable. I mean, maybe it is. I don't know. Nah, it's. I don't know. I mean, is that my problem? Should I worry about marketing it?
I don't know.
I don't.
I mean, it does definitely have.
It seems like if people liked it, somebody would want to market it. Or maybe I'm supposed to be trying to market it.
You're kind of involved in, if not necessarily the marketing aspect of it.
Yeah, but I always felt like if
in developing the presence of it.
I always felt like if a gallery thought it could be marketed, they would market it for me. Like they could make money off it.
Yeah, I think that galleries in general struggle with the whole notion of things that they can't sell. You know.
Yeah.
I mean, they struggle with the absence of objects and also struggle with the shifting terminology of art and the different things that kind of the bastardized versions of things that oftentimes co-opt the art word But the art word also co-ops other things as well.
Yeah, I mean, but I have objects from my performances that could be sold. But why aren't they being sold?
That is a good
I don't
question.
know. I'm suggesting that it's because I perform on the street.
So you think that's why they're not being sold? Well, there is. I'm just going to say that there
I don't know.
have been instances where things sold on the street have sold in a gallery context.
Yeah.
But I don't even know if that is really your point necessarily.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe we're getting off the topic.
It would be nice to sell in a gallery, but I don't know if that's I don't know if that's your point. I mean, tell me if you know you're working in the realm in which you have access to. I mean,
I guess that was my only thing. That was kind of a tangent, but like, I'm not sure that it. Like, I know the virtues of performing on the street, because people can see it who wouldn't normally, go to a gallery or whatnot. Or you could tailor a performance to a particular community, and so it's site specific, and so it's not necessarily, so that's virtuous going on the street. But I feel like you said, like, it's also just where I'm at, so. But anyway.
So let's talk about community since you brought up the word. What does that term mean for you, community? How do you engage with the community?
It's the community. Well, let's see. Different places. Different places respond differently to the same performance,
Yeah, like
So, like take something. I mean, the cheeseburger thing that I'm doing now. I don't know. What do you mean? Like, what? I mean, it just depends on where you want to go with what you're doing. Like,
I think it could be good to talk about it project-based.
Yeah.
Like, for example, you were getting ready to expand upon it and talking about the cheeseburger.
Yeah.
So you have these performances that kind of float around and they end up in these different community places or communities, if you will. How are the responses different based on where it is that you're going?
People, oh boy.
Because it's the same. The structure that you set up is the same everywhere you're going.
Yeah.
But what makes the project different is that reception from whoever gets a cheeseburger from.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just a lot of.
Have you ever been surprised?
I hate that question. Everyone always asks that because they know that someone's going to say something. But listen, I'll tell you this though. Like, it's hard to, people. There's just so many people. It's just honestly, I don't really see people anymore. Like, it's really. I've been doing this for since 2007 in New York City, and like nonstop, like always reinventing. Like a new costume, new performance, new personality, new costume, new performance. So it's so really, it's just a lot to keep powering through the performances, because most of them are endurance pieces, even though I don't say it. Like, if you look at them, they are, like, it's just all. It's like always performing every, like, if I'm not performing twice a week, I want to do it 3 times a week, and then like it goes on for months, and so it's real important to understand why I'm doing it in the beginning, because after a while it's just going to become like a routine, and I'm just going to try to keep pushing, So my point is that when I'm on the street, there's not always, there's just not always like positive feedback, for the.
I wouldn't expect.
Yeah, there's just not. So it's just real important to just keep focused. You know.
You said that it.
Stay focused.
You said that it's important to know what you're doing in the beginning.
Yeah.
So what are you doing in the beginning?
Yeah, because if you're not committed in the beginning, once you get on the street and you want to do something over and over again, you're not going to be able to stick to it if you're not committed in the beginning. There's no way.
Is that...
Like, you have to be real stubborn about it. You know? Like that's why when you ask me about the audience, I'm like, it's just not so simple as like loving them. It's more like, I love them and I also hate them, and it's like sometimes I just want to like, I want them to just take what I'm giving them, you know, and like I want to feed them. And so I have a really weird relationship with them. You know, like I need them, but I just also want to like make them, I want to control them sometimes.
Well, I think...
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because there's so many different voices. Yeah, it's just so, I wonder if like artists who are favored, like in like art circles, if they have more people who will support them, you know, because sometimes like, are they like celebrated? You know what I mean?
But you're comparing that to...
Yeah, like I'm just thinking like, I'm just wondering what would it feel like if I were off the street, and what would be the differences in like how it would feel to be in galleries? Would there be different support there, or would it be like, yeah, I mean, I guess there'd be less of that immediate reaction that you get from the street, because you definitely know if what you're doing is working right away. You know, there's no question.
There's no question there.
Anyway, I don't remember what your question was.
I don't remember what my question was either, but that's good. That means that
yeah.
we've gotten
I'm sorry.
something.
You know, I'm kind of spaced out today, but
Story of
I
my
hope you
life.
can get something from this.
It's the story of my life.
All right.
We were talking about community.
Right.
And you were saying that you're not...
Yes,
really
the problem with
supported by
community,
your
though, is
community.
like the idea, when I come up with an idea for a specific community, like the white ambassador wanting to wear whiteface in Harlem and, you know, protesting the stereotype in the black community that white people smell like wet dogs. So, like, I knew that was something that I was passionate about, and I wanted to do this theatrical protest, you know? And I knew that there would be resistance, but I wanted to keep performing it, because then more people would see the performance. But then every time there's resistance, and it's like, fuck, you know, because every time it feels like you're starting at zero. You know what I mean? So, what?
Antagonism is built into the work.
Of course. That's exactly my point. Exactly. And that's exactly the problem, because the whole project is you're exploring a conflict, or, you know,
Yeah.
but then you want to perform it again and again, and there's only so many times you can perform something like that. But I guess it's just, you know.
I mean, it is about, like you're saying, how much conflict you can put yourself in the center of. And then, what do you do if you do anything, to kind of, how do you get that, how do you purge that?
Yeah, I mean, I don't need to confess like that, but like, I guess it is important to, yeah, I mean, some
Plans to then do it again. I mean, do you not? You just kind of carry the weight of each one into the next performance.
You know, I don't know, you know,
Like,
good question.
I'm just wondering how you know, what's the impulse for the projects that you do? You know, how do you? I know you were speaking more. You err more on the side of conditioning necessarily than deciding. And I wonder if that also applies to the projects that you engage in as well. Do you choose what you want, what conflict you want to stir up?
Yeah.
How do you decide these things?
Well, when you're writing something that you want to do, you know.
How do you know you want to do something? I mean, is it something that you feel like anybody would care about other than you?
Well, you know. Well, those are deep questions, you know. So.
But they're also yes or no questions.
Yeah, I mean, when you. Well, for me, when I'm designing a performance, it's, you know, I want to make it so that that they're, you know, that I know. Sometimes I want to know the outcome, and I've run into problems with some of my artist friends about that because they feel like I should be investigating, or I should be exploring. But
what do those words mean?
well, I think you know what they mean.
Investigating.
those are hot button art words.
I mean, in terms of who's supposed to be like taking notes.
No, but you know what they're talking about.
Well,
You're trying to be charming.
Well, everybody that watches these is not going to know.
Yeah,
what we're referring to.
but those well, what I'm saying is that I you know. Yeah.
So your friends get on you about.
Yeah. Well, anyway, I guess the point is that what I was saying was that you know, just like with any artwork, you want to make a performance that is on the street. You want to make it so that it's not too obvious, but that people can grasp it immediately. And that's tricky, and it can also lead to some problems. One of them is that what makes a performance on the street successful will not necessarily garner respect from the art world, because sometimes they have different successful attributes. That's a huge problem. That's a problem for me. Like, if you notice, one of the themes of this interview has been like street versus gallery.
Yes.
Like, that's all I really want to talk about. But I don't think that's really what you want. Yeah, like, you know, I don't know what you want to talk about.
I know, I think that that's important. This idea of street versus.
But anyway, yeah.
Because I'm going to follow up this by asking you how you feel about this, about your participation in this project that's about trying to identify socially engaged artistic practices.
Yeah.
And why you have allowed yourself to be a part of that, this process.
Right now?
Yeah.
Well, I like the dialogue. I like what you guys are doing with even bringing it up. Like, it's cool that you're even bringing it up. I didn't even know that this grant even existed before you emailed me. I was like, what?
New. It's brand new.
Yeah, I was like, what? I mean, it makes me happy that there would be a grant for the kind of work that I do, you know? That feels good, you know?
What about these phrases that crop up?
Yeah. What phrases?
Social engagement. But there's also been another one, social practice. And I feel like nowadays there's a bit of dialogue and discourse being developed around this idea of social practice. You know, art is kind of going into communities.
Yeah.
So I'm sure you're not unfamiliar with the term.
No.
But does it?
What about it?
Do you feel like it applies to you?
Yeah.
Social engagement.
Yeah, social engagement.
Yeah.
I don't have anything to say about it, though. I mean, I just don't know what to say about it. Like, really not that deep. Like, I just, you know, I need people And after one person sees a performance, if I feel like it was worthwhile for one person, then it should be worthwhile for 1,000,000 people. So like I need to go have other people see it, you know, and like it never stops. Like I just keep wanting more and more people, because I mean the whole point is like I don't have a gallery introducing the work to people for me, so I have to do it for myself. Like so, it just like, and that's why a lot of the performances that I do move. It's not a coincidence that they move, because if you sit in one place, then you're going to see more people if you're moving. I mean, it depends on where you sit, but you know, when I used to do the free bouncy rides, like I would sit in a place where a lot of people would be. I mean, but so I don't really have any. I feel just kind of like a soldier, you know, like sometimes that's what I'm saying. Like I'll get an idea and then like I'll just become a slave to that idea, you know, and I'll just be like working for that idea. So, and that's why when I hear people say something bad about the idea, sometimes I have a hard time separating myself from the idea, because I'm like, hey, that's my country, you know, because I'm a soldier for that idea. So, but that's another thing with the art world, that you have to be able to separate, obviously, yourself from the work.
Well, that's what they say.
Yep.
You also have substantial web presence, and I wonder if you think about audience online in the fashion that you think about audiences offline.
Oh boy. No, not really. Like it just, I don't know, not really. Some projects will be for specific communities, you know, like the art blog hack that I recently did is obviously for anybody who's going to care about that. Will probably be in the art world. Like it's the most insidery thing I've ever done. Mm-hmm. So I mean, I guess yeah, that would be for a certain community online, separate from offline. The thing is, like, all people are on the web now, and they all. So I don't see much difference. I don't know, but yeah.
I also want to ask you about documentation.
Yeah, what about it?
How do you find it challenging to document the type of work that you do?
No.
Do you find?
Why would I though? Why? Because all you got to do is hire a photographer, and then.
But do you find that the still photograph is the best means to capture?
Well.
Performance. What do you think is the best? What would you think is the best means to capture performance?
I don't know. I mean, it's fun for me to collect YouTube videos of my performances, because then it's like people are doing the work for me, and also like I get to see it from their perspective. I used to get a lot of enjoyment from that. Yeah, because I knew that. I mean, if you're using spectacle with your work, the more YouTube videos you can find means that you're doing something right. You know, so the problem with the cheeseburger piece, though, is that people don't think it's something to really videotape, because it's just like a guy throwing out cheeseburgers. I don't think it doesn't cross that far enough into spectacle, I don't think.
No.
And also people are like, the bike goes by too fast where they're like, oh, okay, bye. You know, it's so it's like, I'm not finding a lot of videos. I'm not finding any videos, actually.
So,
but anyway, your question was, what's the best way to document it? I don't know, I just like when people document it themselves and I don't know about it. That's awesome. It's really great, because then also you get to see yourself without knowing you're being videotaped, and like you get to see a moment where like maybe you were actually in a moment, you know?
Yeah.
And you're not like, because whenever I hire a photographer, I get real nervous, tense up, and my photographer's great, so they always look good, but still it's like, you know, you never know was that really what it looks like? I don't know.
Is there a part of it that's about removing that element of self-consciousness when you perform?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, that's one of my favorite things about performing. But it's probably, you know, a lot of performance artists probably are into that.
Probably into removing.
So it's.
Or some might be into the opposite, you know, very much about self.
Yeah.
I think it could go either way.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. So I've been writing about this element of generosity as a part of social engagement, particularly in thinking about the interaction that happens between two people, that there's, or however many people, that there's this aspect of generousness in some way. And I use this term because I want to sidestep the moral issue with working in public space. The notion that, and I don't necessarily think it's only with social practice. I think it happens with art in general, but especially when you decide to engage in social spaces, that the aspect of morality becomes even more important. Like, it must be good, serve some sort of purpose, public good. First, what do you think about that? Do you find that your work is burdened by that moral element? Do you have to confront that when you perform?
Yeah. That's so complicated. It just depends. It really just depends. What I think might be good, other people may not think is good. I mean,
because I wonder if that conflict.
It's really simple as that.
I wonder if that conflict has to do with people's moral expectations of what it is that they should be receiving from you.
Yeah, it's. I mean, I can't really touch any of that but I can tell you. I mean, I can tell you in particular the narrative that I'm trying to draw right now with my own work. I used to concentrate on trying to do. I used to concentrate on trying to do good, because I thought if I wanted to reach as many people as I could, which is something that's important to me. Some artists don't really care. Like, I think they just want to reach somebody, you know. But I want numbers, you know. Like, I'm all about numbers. I felt like, okay, well, I better do something good. And now I'm thinking maybe I can do something bad to people, and I don't know. I don't even know why it matters. Like, I don't really know what. Like, who cares?
Right.
I don't know. Because I'm playing with the idea, the assumption that you're supposed to do good. I don't really know. Yeah, I think people think art's not supposed to hurt people.
People do think that.
Yeah, I think that's what they think, and like that really bothers me. Like, so I don't know. It just bothers. I don't know, because I don't really know why that is.
But
you know.
Do you think that there could still be an element of generosity, even if there is?
Yeah, sure, yeah. I mean, sure. Yeah, I mean, you want to talk about generosity? I mean, well, I was watching the interview with Ed, and he said that, I think you asked him, like, what gets people's. Oh no, what is a moment? What is a moment? And he said, how do people know a moment's happening on the street? And he said, honesty. Like, if there's someone's being honest, then you can recognize. It's easier to recognize a moment. Anyway, yeah. I mean, it's. I guess I don't know. Generosity. I would say it's important to be honest and be generous with your.
Honesty.
Yeah, it's really important to. People are going to know. They're going to be able to tell that you're not there. And like that's, if you want to talk about generosity, I would just find it like as just being present. It's so important to be present, like when you're performing on the street for people, you know, like it's just, if you're not all the way there, people will be able to tell, you know, they're like dogs. They can tell, they can, you know, it's so, and I feel like you can get away with so much if you're just honest with people, if they can tell, even if you're crazy, if you're like, you know what I mean, 100% crazy, like they'll see like, okay, like we're gonna leave this guy alone, you know? It's like, yeah, it's just crazy. Like, okay, man, you know, go ahead. I'm telling you, I've walked through Harlem in whiteface. I did 13 performances.
I've seen it.
And I went back to the same locations time and time again, and people would say, "Oh, you're back, you're back, huh?" And I'd be like, "Yeah, I'm back, I'm back," and just stand there. And it's like, you know, yeah. So, yeah, I mean, it just. I don't know what else you mean by generosity. You mean like working for free? Because that's another thing about being generous.
Actually, where I thought you were going to go.
Is that what we were talking about? Because that's long.
You're very charitable with your time.
Yeah, you got to work for free, you know. If you wanna do it, you got to work for free. I have 2 jobs though, so yeah, I feel like, you know.
So this is one of your jobs?
No, I have 2 jobs, and then just to, you know, just so then you can go do art after you do your job, then you do art, you know. My point is that I don't have the same dilemma that a lot of artists have, where they went to school, they have, you know, they got student loans, and now they're looking at their diploma, their art diploma, and they're like, now what? Like, I don't have that problem. Like, I have 2 jobs that are outside of art, so when I'm, you know, so I don't have that hang up about. Maybe that's why I don't have a hang up about doing art for free, because I never really expected to make any money off art to begin with. Really. I never. Not that you shouldn't expect. I don't want you to think that, though. I don't want you to put that on there and say it, because I know people who go to school should get something back for that.
Well, I mean,
I don't want you to. I don't want to come off like that, though. You know what I mean?
Right.
I'm just saying, for me, I never. Yeah, I never really. Whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, generosity. Working for free is just part of it.
So
another thing about working for free, though, is like it's, you know, it's like, would people really pay to see what I do? I don't know. I mean, and how would I get them to pay for it other than a grant? So it's like my work really is just, that's kind of just what it sort of is, you know.
I guess it would also matter who paid for it.
Well, yeah, that's it. Oh, yeah, I guess.
Otherwise, it would become something else. But maybe it could be something
else. That's true.
Too.
That'd be interesting to see if I did a piece that appeared to be saying one thing but was funded by something that undercut the whole project. That's a good idea. And I could only reveal that afterwards.
We'll see. That's also a part of
I like that.
process.
Yeah.
Yeah. For new ideas to develop.
I just had one.
So that means I'm successful.
Yeah. I'm sorry though. I wish I could give a better interview on this stuff, but usually I just.
Amy's a really good editor.
Okay, cool. Yeah, you only use like 3 clips, right? So 2 or 3 clips.
You only need 3 minutes.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So now this is just gratuitous.
All right. So.
But I'm also just thinking about this idea of generosity again. It's clear to me about your presence and what you're bringing to a situation.
Yeah.
What about the receptor?
What about the other people?
Yeah.
The people?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, them.
That nebulous glob of public that you don't even see anymore.
The audience.
They're just there.
No, I mean, you know, it's.
Do you get
I was just taking you to the dark part. The light part, though. The light part. The light part. Let's talk about the light part. The light side. There's a bright side.
There's a bright side?
Yeah, we talked about the dark side. Let's talk about the bright side. All right. The smiles. The smiles, you know, that sounds corny, but you know, the smiles are nice. When you challenge people and you can tell that they at least heard you out. They at least heard your perspective, because a lot of times the things that I might want people to think are absurd, or you know what I mean? Like you know how performance works or satire works. You go, you exaggerate in hopes that people will think something a little outside the box. You know, you got to make a spectacle, and then they'll be like, oh well, but you know, that was crazy, but maybe. I'm still going to the dark part. I'm trying to stay on the light part. Death Bear. We can talk about Death Bear. Like that was a beautiful thing. Like dressing up as a black bear and a black mascot head and going to people's houses and trying to help them through a painful experience. You know, taking objects from them and trying to relieve them. And that's the one piece that most people talk about. They're like, oh yeah, I really love Death Bear, you know, because I think, you know, it was kind, and people responded to that, you know, they responded to that, you know. So,
I'm gonna end on that.
yeah, okay, okay, good.
I thought that was a good place to.
Good. Let's end on a positive note.